7 first downs. Tigers had 3. Clarksdale had 236 yards passing. Tigers had 0. Clarksdale had a minus 35 rushing. The Tigers had a plus 65.
Reapering for this big crowd. Band leaving the field, heading back to the stands, and we'll be ready for second half action coming up in just a moment. Our door. Okay, just about ready to get second half action underway here. Clarksdale leading South Panola 21-0 at the half, and well, I tell you what, we had an exciting half of bands, and we had an exciting half of football, and if the second half is going to be anything like the first half, we've got quite a football game left here in this second half. Well, head coach Jesse Murphy has to be pleased with his Wildcats' performance here in the first half, jumping out to a 21-0 lead, especially on the arm of Casey Clark. Clark was 9 of 13 for 2 touchdowns in the first half. We don't have anybody keeping stats here, but I think that's what I heard the PA announcer announce. 9 of 13, and well, that's 3 touchdowns. Casey Clark on his arm. So quite a night for the Clarksdale offense, even though they hadn't got much going offensively on the ground, but they have through the air. Coach Jimmy Jennings, the offensive coordinator, up in the press box, calling a great game. I'll tell you that. He is pretty much abandoned the run early when he saw they couldn't run against South Panola, and went to the shotgun, and it has really paid off with the passing of Casey Clark, showing a lot of confidence in the senior Clark. And Coach Jimmy Jennings, I thought a tremendous job of play calling in that first half. South Panola kicks off. We're underway in the second half. Liddell almost broke through there, all the way up to the 42-yard line. Chris Liddell, the 190-pound senior, and he's got great speed, and he almost broke through. And if he'd have got past that initial wall, he might have gone all the way for the touchdown. Well, if you're just tuning in, you missed a great first half. We do repeat the game several times during the week, so hopefully if you missed the first half and we got another repeat coming up, you'll catch it, because it was quite a first half, especially for the Clarksdale Wildcats and their outstanding defense. The offense put 21 points on the board. Clark running the option, hands off to the first man, Liddell. Not much there. Liddell might have picked up a yard, and that's about all.
Stanford and Chapman in on the tackle. Gain of 2 yards, second down and 8.
Chapman, number 87, with also with Tony Sanford in on the tackle for the Tigers. This is a good South Panola football team. Everybody that knows anything about high school football in Mississippi knows about South Panola, their tradition and what they've had. They're not going to lay down here in this second half. We're going to have a football game. You can bet on that. Clarksdale going with a little misdirection. Aaron Whittington, 180-pound junior, carrying the football, number 19.
Number 94, White.
Pickup of about 5 yards on the carry by Whittington. Third down and 6, or third down 4. Check it, third down 4 to go. Here early in this third quarter, Clarksdale leading South Panola 21-0 with 10:53 to go in the third quarter. Tremendous crowd on hand. This stadium almost full here tonight on both sides of the field. Clarksdale staying on the ground with a 21-0 lead, not getting fancy, not putting it in the air. You got to wonder if they're trying to protect this 21-0 lead. And not much there. That was Liddell for no gain. Stanford on the tackle for the Tigers. I kind of figured this with a 21-0 lead. Your Coach Jennings, you're calling this thing. You don't want to take too many chances here. Your defense has played so well. You got good position here. You can back up the Tigers with a good punt, play defense, keep them a long ways from the goal line. So pretty much a conservative set of calls in that first series. Williams punt is going to hit and roll, and what a punt it was. Williams benefits from the roll, and it's going to be down at the 9-yard line. Well, that's just what I was talking about. The Wildcats will rely on their defense now with a 21-0 lead. And if they can keep South Panola, even if they have to drive a long ways and kill a lot of clock in high school football with only 12-minute quarters, it doesn't take a lot of time, especially if you're a running team and staying on the ground. The clock will run, and the Tigers seem to be that type of team. Not much in the air so far tonight from the Tigers, but trailing 21-0, you got to figure they're going to air it out sometime. Marcus Connor, the 198-pound senior quarterback, hands off. Pretty good run that time by James Dean.
McBride and Sale on the stop.
Probably enough for a first down. McBride and Sale.
With his first and 10 for the Tigers on their own.
Moses Sales in on the tackle, but first down picked up by the Tigers as they come out from the 19 all the way up to the 20, across the 20, and not much more on second down. And that's Dean again, number 4. Dean seems to be the workhorse. James Dean, a 218-pound senior for the Tigers. Number 54. Calling defensive signals down there. Wildcats. Second down, they're not going very far. McBride made the initial tackle for the Wildcats. Not much at all for Dean.
And number 62, Reynolds. That was Dean on the carry. Third down and 6.
Third down 7, Tigers, misdirection. Oh, and what a lick. The Wildcat comes out of nowhere, and that was Brandon Downing, number 54. And Downing is really making his name known here tonight. He ended the first half on a tremendous lick from his defensive linebacking position, and this time he really comes up and lowers the boom on Charles Prince. What a hard hit by Downing, the linebacker for Clarksdale, the 230-pounder. Pounders will punt. Fair catch called by the Wildcats, and is taken in at the 42 by Dan Hampton. Hampton, 142-pound senior, doing a good job on the fair catch. And now the Wildcats will have good field position here to start their second offensive series of the second half. Clock shows 7:12 to go in the third quarter. Clarksdale 21, South Panola nothing. Casey Clark out of the shotgun this series. Pass caught and dropped. Intended for Whittington, and Whittington had it. Whittington, the 180-pound junior, had his hands on it but couldn't hang on to Clark's pass. Clark was on the money with it. Pass goes incomplete. Second down, 10 to go for Clarksdale. Whittington comes over the sideline, stands by his head coach, Coach Murphy. Coach Murphy reaches up, fixes his shirt. His pad had come loose. Says something to him, probably in the effect that good effort next time you'll bring it in. Just fixed his shoulder pad for him. Screen pass. That's Liddell. Liddell to the 50, short of the first down, though, by about 3 yards. Casey Clark on the screen pass to Liddell, and that's worked a couple of times tonight. In the second quarter, they hit that play for big yardage right here on the same side of the field.
3rd down and 3 for the Wildcats. The ball's on their own 49-yard line.
Young into the football game, and out is Williams as they shuffle wide receivers to get the play into Clark. Clock running with 6:13 to go in this third quarter. Clarksdale leading 21-0. Hicks in motion. They give to Hicks. Hicks right up the middle on a little motion handoff, and not much there. Good job by the Tigers. Stopping it up down there was Tim Chapman, 200-pound senior.
4th down and 2 for the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats needed 3. They only got 1, so they failed to pick up the first down. That would have been a big first down with 6 minutes, and now we're under 6 minutes here in this third quarter. You got to figure if the Wildcats picked up the first down there, they could have killed another 2 or 3 minutes. But instead, they're probably going to have to punt the football away if they elect to do so, and ball at the 49-yard line in Tiger territory. Williams went back in punt formation. Now he comes up under center. Let's see if they snap it or if they're trying to draw the Tigers offside. Probably just trying to draw them offsides, and that's exactly what they tried to do. South Panola not going for it. They'll have nothing to do with that. So the Wildcats decided to take a 5-yard penalty. The football was at the 49, so the penalty really won't hurt them that much. Good try for Clarksdale as Coach Murphy decided that had nothing to lose here. If they lose 5 yards on the penalty, they have a chance of drawing the Tigers offside by doing that. Tried to make the Tigers think they were going to come up and run the football from that position. Williams now back to punt. You got to figure he probably will do that. Standing in his own 30. Low snap, scoops it up, and he's in trouble. He's going to run out of there, and he's going to kick it on the run. He gets it off. Well, Williams is getting a good roll, benefiting from a big roll all the way down to the 30-yard line. And the crowd applauds that. Could have been a disaster for Clarksdale, but Darren Williams, the punter, decides to elude 3 Tigers and still punt the football. What do they do on the run like that? Is that rugby? They play by running and kicking it. That's kind of what it looked like. Well, whatever it looked like, it looked good to this hometown crowd from Clarksdale because leading 21-0, they sure didn't want to be sacked way back in around the 40-yard line, and Williams did a good job of getting the punt away. Well, there's timeout on the field with 5:23 to go in this third quarter. Clarksdale 21, South Panola nothing. South Panola 1st and 10.
Connor's on the keeper.
That's Connor on the quarterback keeper. Number 62 down making the stop for Clarksdale is William Reynolds, offensive or defensive lineman, 195-pounder.
Gain of maybe 1 yard.
Good job by Reynolds to stop Connor, the Tiger quarterback, for only a yard gain. South Panola coming out with that big offensive line. Wildcats digging in. Big pile up, but Brandon Downing, the first Wildcat to hit Booth. Booth was the ball carrier for the Tigers. Brandon Downing, a 230-pound linebacker for the Wildcats, first man there, and he had help from a bunch of Wildcats after that. Clock shows 4:37 and running here in this third quarter. Clarksdale leading 21-0. South Panola out of the eye. Tailback. That's Dean. Dean cannot go. Dean may have lost a yard. That was number 28, Stokes. Larry Stokes, a 200-pound junior. First man there for Clarksdale, and what a defensive effort by Stokes. Second down, 10 to go. Football at the Tiger 42. Out of the eye. Connor can't go. William Reynolds, number 62, the 195-pound linebacker, in on that tackle, and Reynolds has been on a lot of tackles tonight. Reynolds playing a tremendous game on defense, as well as most of the other Wildcats, especially in that defensive line. The linebackers are very active. I've been real impressed with this Clarksdale defense tonight. Who wouldn't? They've shut out South Panola so far. Goose egg on the scoreboard for the Tigers here in the late minutes of the third quarter. That's Dean. Dean's dangerous. Dean short of the first down, though. Going to be way short by about 3 yards. Number 54, Brandon Downing, number 54. Another Wildcats played a tremendous defensive game. Number 54 weighs in at 230. Quite a linebacker for Clarksdale. You see Brandon Downing, number 54, is a defensive captain, getting his defensive signals, and quite a leader of this defense for the Wildcats. Well, the Tigers taking a lot of time now. They have the football, and they're taking a lot of time trailing 21-0. You'd have to figure that Coach Stanley would have his play already ready and getting his team up the line and ready to go. But they're taking a lot of time, trailing 21-0. Still trying to run the ball right up the middle, trying to pick up a first down, and the youngsters got that and more all the way down to the 40. A big run for South Panola by Kendrick Booth. Booth, a 186-pound junior. He was tackled by Whittington, but not before a first down was made at the Wildcat 40-yard line. That was just a determined run by Kendrick Booth. And Booth may be the youngster shaken up at the end of the play. Tigers have had several youngsters injured during this football game, especially in the first half, and I think this is the first one of the second half. And I think that's going to be number 1, Booth, the youngster that ran the football a moment ago. They're out looking at him. We hope he's okay. Clarksdale leading South Panola with 2:26 to go in the third quarter, 21-0.
Number 4, James Dean.
Shaken up was James Dean, and that could be a blow to their offense. Quite an offensive running back, and he's out and going nowhere that time. Number 19, that's Charles Prince. Stokes and McBride back for the Wildcats, and Reynolds all there. A host of Wildcats, you could say, on that one. Great team defense by Clarksdale as they are all over South Panola's running game, and South Panola has not shown any sign of a passing game at all. And I don't know about this Tiger football team this year, because if they're going to make a run in 5A this year, you would think that they're going to have to maybe find a way to put the football up, because the running game is really sputtering here. That's Dean. Dean back in the football game. He just went out hurt a moment ago, and he's back in. Number 4, the fine 218-pound senior. Looked like number 41 down on the bottom of that pile. We'll give him credit. Moses Sales, he's played a great game tonight on defense, 180-pound junior for Clarksdale. Well, Dean wasn't hurt too much because he got right back in the football game, so it's good to see him back in there. That would have been a big blow to the Tigers' running game. Clock running here with only a minute to go in the third quarter. Clarksdale leading 21-0. Third down, 11 to go. That's Dean. Dean hit and knocked back. He might have picked up a yard or two, but another good defensive effort by Clarksdale, and that's that guy again, Brandon Downing, number 54. I hope everybody at home can see that number 54 for Clarksdale, because he is playing his heart out on defense tonight for the Wildcats. This big hometown crowd enjoying the play of the Clarksdale defense in this third quarter. We've seen some fine tackles from Brandon Downing. He puts on a clinic when he locks up on a running back. That's going to force South Panola into a punt situation. 4th down, 10 from their own 40 in there. They're going to punt it away, trailing 21-0. Fair catch call for, and he just gets away from it. And it, let's see, did he get in? Yes, it touched the line. All it's got to do in high school is touch the goal line. They bring it back out to the 20-yard line. So Darren Williams made a fine decision not to field that. And the big crowd from Clarksdale on their feet. Listen at them down below. Into the third quarter. Clarksdale 21, South Panola nothing. A little anxious there.
As a flag on the play.
There's a right guard position. So the Wildcats will be penalized back to their 15-yard line. And now they'll have 1st and 15 to go from the 15. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Clarksdale leading 21-0 over the South Panola Tigers. Clark spins, hands off, fumble. Big pile up, and South Panola has it. That was a break they may be looking for to get back in this thing. That was Morgan, Lackey Morgan, the Tiger who recovered that fumble at the Clarksdale 13-yard line. We'll call it the 14-yard line, it looks like. Now the Wildcat defense is going to really have to step up. They have denied the Tigers anything on offense most of the night tonight, but now after the fumble recovery, Tigers could pick up some new life here as the momentum shifts to the Tigers now. If they can get on the board, they've got plenty of time. 11:53 to go in this football game. Tigers taking a lot of time getting their offense back into the football game. Now they're ready. And here comes Marcus Connor, number 2. Quarterback hands off. Not much there, maybe a yard or two. That was Fernando Matthews, number 14 for Clarksdale, the 190-pound 10th grader. And that 10th grader made a fine tackle. Only a pickup of 1. 2nd down and 9 to go. They put the football at the 12-yard line. Tigers standing in the huddle with their hands on their hips. Look like they're waiting on the play, and it's taking a while to get the play call from the sideline. Now the senior quarterback, Connor, on the keeper. That's Connor. Connor hit and knocked back. It fumbles, but ball's out of bounds. Brandon Downing over to make the tackle for Clarksdale. He had some help from Kenneth Kern, and also looked like over there in the area was Terry McBride. Clarksdale's got a quick swarming defense, and they've been swarming tonight. Well, the football went out of bounds, but the clock's still running, and now they're going to stop the clock. South Panola lost some time there as the clock did not stop. I looked up, and the clock was still running. And I'm sure that Coach Stanley across the way is going to complain about that, because trailing 21-0, you hate to lose time. When that ball went out of bounds, the clock should have stopped. But they lost a few seconds. 3rd down, 9 to go. Tigers, that's Dean. Dean hit and knocked back, picked up a couple of tough yards, and then he was turned back by the Wildcats. Trying to pick up the first man down there. It looked like that might have been Downing, number 54. What a defensive effort Brandon Downing is playing here at Crumpton Field tonight. Brandon Downing, number 54, is playing defense like it's supposed to be played, sports fans. The Tigers, after the fumble recovery at the Clarksdale 12-yard line, or 13-yard line, I believe it was, now have 4th down and 5 to go. Connor, under pressure, throws it, intercepted and dropped. Well, that would have been 6 more for the Wildcats. Kenneth Kern, the 215-pound junior, had it in his hands at the 10 and couldn't hold on for the interception, but the good thing is Clarksdale has the football. Listen to this big crowd down below. If you think that was something there, how loud do you think this place would have been if Kern could have returned that football 90 yards for a touchdown? Well, the Wildcats still hang on to the 21-0 lead. I don't know if hang on now is the right word. You kept thinking South Panola was going to get back in this thing, but it's starting to turn out now to be a Pretty much a dominating effort by the Wildcats over this Tiger team, but we still got 10 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Clarksdale's going to pass with a 21-0 lead. Coming out of there throwing the football out of the shotgun is Casey Clark over the head of his intended receiver, Darren Williams. Williams has caught 2 touchdown passes already tonight, and that one just barely over his head. Well, Coach Jennings getting a little liberal here on his play calling now. You would think with a 21-0 lead, Clarksdale would be satisfied to run some clock. But I guess you could say they were going for the juggler there if they had been able to come up big to Williams. Clark has had a tremendous night passing the football, the Clarksdale quarterback has. Quite a turnaround from last week's effort. You could tell Clarksdale was just not in sync a lot last week, but tonight they have been hitting on all cylinders. Probably the running game, I guess, is the thing that hadn't looked as well tonight, but there's a strong defense out there they're running against. And so they've elected to go to the air, and they've worked the pass very well tonight. 9:57 to go. Timeout on the field. Clarksdale leading 21-0. Well, we see a young man in the stands right at midfield on the 50-yard line, Myro Ferrazzi of Myro's Music Shop fame and the Myro's Music Shop Showcase, which airs on our Ellington broadcasting stations. And that's Myro enjoying the football game here in Clarksdale tonight. Good to see him. Clark's going to pass across the middle, and no, that was the worst pass tonight by Casey Clark, I guess. He was hit and knocked down trying to hit. That was Marvin Young, and he wasn't even close. It was closer to the Tigers' defensive secondary. But Clark was really under a rush that time. He was hit and knocked down right after he threw the football. Tigers have rushed him hard tonight, but Casey Clark has really stood up to the pressure so well. And he struck the Tigers for 3 touchdown passes. That time, like I say, probably, if my memory is correct, that's probably the poorest pass he's had tonight. He's been very accurate with his throwing all night long. 9:52 clock stopped as the Clarksdale Wildcats go to the air, stop the clock.